Welcome to Intentional Excellence, Elevate Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Candice Ruggiero. I'm a keynote speaker, member of two speakers bureaus, aspiring author. I'm a live show and podcast host, and I also run Candice Ruggiero Love Speaks and a global education consulting firm called Novata. As an educator and speaker, my mission is to inspire others to step into their purpose with confidence and intentionality. Today or tonight, we're diving into a deeply personal and transformative series, The Lost Child. This series explores what it means to feel unseen, out of place, or disconnected from your true self. Many of us have experienced moments where we questioned our worth or struggled to find where we truly belong. But through resilience and intentional choices, we can reclaim our power and redefine our path. Now, to help us unpack this theme, I'm honored to have an incredible guest. She's Debbie Crouch. Debbie's journey is one of transformation. She was once told by her art teacher that she would never be good at art, a comment that led her to abandon something she deeply loved. She grew up as a good girl in school, but faced bullying and loneliness, often feeling like an outsider. But over time, she developed neurological disorders. And at the age of 19, she left home and always needing to find work. She was married for 14 years before getting divorced. Single parenthood was tough, but it was also a turning point for her self discovery. Years later, she remarried into a relationship that truly embraced her for who she truly was. After experiencing a mental breakdown, Debbie attended Recovery College, which became a transformative journey. And through therapy, she confronted past trauma, built resilience, and rediscovered her love for creativity. This led to the creation of Art for Wellness, a thriving business that started as a Facebook group in 2020. And now she runs workshops, hosts a podcast, and is part of an upcoming book collaboration called Beyond the Ordinary: Navigating the Creative and Neurodivergent Mind, set to launch in October. Debbie is passionate about showing that creativity is for everyone. Her vision is to create a space where people can connect through art, healing, and self expression. And she has a powerful message. Listen to this. She believes that the person who said that to you doesn't know the whole you. If you want to do it, don't let one person stop you. I love that. Debbie, welcome to the show. Hi.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for your patience. We had a little technical difficulties, you know how technologies are, but we have two teachers here. Patience is our virtue. As teachers, we know
Yes.
what patience meant. And I'm just excited because I couldn't see Debbie. I could hear her. I'm like, Debbie, I want to see you. I'm so excited to see you. So Debbie, I am podcasting from Florida, America. Where are you from, Debbie?
I'm based in the UK, in South Yorkshire, and
Uh-huh.
it's a place near Penistone, it's in the countryside. So
Okay.
I'm surrounded by fields of lambs and
I
beautiful
love
farms,
Yeah.
and yeah, just love it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I'm always honored to have guests from different countries because no matter where we are, we have the same stories to share, lessons to like give to others. And I'm just honored to have you because like now that my podcast is going worldwide because I've been meeting incredible guests from all over the world. You're one of them. Thank you, Debbie, for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah, are there anything else that you want to add on top? Like, did I miss anything about you that you want the viewers to know about?
I guess I love everything to do with nature.
Okay.
I love being outdoors, and I'd rather be outdoors than stuck inside. And nature is what gives me my inspiration.
I
Yeah.
would love to visit your place and see those wonderful, amazing, like what you said, like your view. Because I live in Tampa, a lot of beaches though. I would love to see the countryside. It just fulfills me, like in a deeper level. Just being
Yes.
closer to nature. Again, welcome to my show. Are you ready, Debbie?
I'm ready.
All right. I already know that this is going to be powerful, and I can't wait. All right, Debbie, you've spoken about feeling like an outsider during your childhood, struggling to fit in, and often being a loner. Debbie, can you share a pivotal moment from that time when you truly felt lost? And perhaps also share how did it shape your sense of identity?
I guess twofold, because when I was at junior school, I had a very supportive teacher, very encouraging. I used to show my art and write stories, and she made me feel that I could achieve doing
Okay.
things that I loved to do. But it was when I went to secondary school that things changed, because I'd always been excited about doing art or anything crafty. And the art teacher just dismissed me by saying that I wasn't good enough. Now, when you're a child, no matter what age you are, you look up to adults as being, they're your
Models.
mentors. They know about the world, they know about you, they have all the answers. If they say that you're not talented or you're not able to, you believe it
Of
without
course.
question. And it just completely knocked my confidence, and the feeling that I didn't belong for many years. And looking back, it's only because I had a seed planted in my mind at a later age I was able to grow, and my determination to reclaim what was truly mine, because I always had a sense
Yes.
inside, a feeling that I was destined to do something special. I didn't know what, I didn't know how it was going to progress. All I knew is that if I worked hard, if I tried my best, that I would eventually find what my purpose was. Um, and I mean, I'm just so grateful now that as an adult, I have found my purpose, because that's just been completely life changing in so many ways. Because when I lost direction at school and I didn't know what to do for a career or where to move forward, I
Right.
just followed the path that everybody put me into.
Yes. Yes.
And just, I
It
then
wasn't
went from
you.
just pleasing whatever anybody said, that is what I had to do. And I ended up working in an office, being in a job that was boring.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I knew, because I'd left home when I was 19 and I became self sufficient, I knew that I had to work to be able to provide for myself. So you
Yeah.
don't have the same sort of career choices, because you know that you have to be out there earning money to support yourself. So it limits the amount of things that you can do.
Yes.
And I've always been quite shy, and
Mm-hmm.
the one that's picked on and bullied. So I daren't stand up for myself. I daren't say what was really what I wanted to do. I
Right.
just went along with everybody else. Um, and it's such a shame, really, that you narrow your thinking,
Right.
and you narrow what you believe in yourself. And I really believe that if I could make other people happy, then I'd be happy.
Yes.
And I went through that thought process for many, many years. And I wish it was something that you could teach people at school from being young, to realise that your own self-worth, that loving yourself is
Matters.
so important. Because you're brought up to say, as if you're not allowed to say what you want. You're not allowed to say what you think.
Right.
People set boundaries for you as to who you associate with, as to what you do with your life, where you live, where you buy your houses.
Right.
And if only I knew as a young person that that isn't how life is.
Right.
It just yeah, it made so much difference. But then again, on the other side,
Right.
I also think that all my experiences that I've gone through life
Yes.
have made me the person that I am today. And I wouldn't be Debbie Crouch as I am now.
Yes.
So I don't blame anybody. I don't have any resentment or hate for anything that's gone on in my life. I just think it was destined to be the path
Right.
that I was meant to be on.
Yes. Yes.
And it's like, when you talk about energies, like
Right.
that's only really something I've come to really observe for myself over the last 5 years.
Okay.
Um, but I think that that is really powerful in understanding yourself and understanding the people around you,
Yes.
so that
Affect you.
you can see when things are right for you. You can see when things are wrong for you.
Right. Now, Debbie, you mentioned so many things that I can deeply relate with. First of all, the power of teachers. People don't realize how much impact we have on students. I always have this sentence that I say: it can either break you or make you. Same thing with teachers. Your teachers can either break you or make you. And I would love to talk to teachers who are listening here, educators and administrators, and know that you have your power to influence your students is huge, huge. I hope that you never find the why on how you became a teacher. Yes, I don't know if it's the same in UK, but in America, the field of education has become really stressful, and it has changed over the years because now we're really basing everything on testing. Like we test the kids. Yes, I understand the importance of testing because we want to know if there's growth. We want to know what skills the students lack so that we can teach them and be in and individualized learning. But at the same time, sometimes we lose empathy in the process because teachers are just, can I say that? They're burnt out. There's
Yeah.
sometimes teachers feel the burnt out, especially in America. I've been in the field of education for 30 years. Love what I'm doing. When I tell you that is me, you cannot take the teaching part away from me. Yes, I left the teaching profession, but you can never ever take away the love of teaching. I hope that even like one third of all the teachers out there can have my passion and love for teaching. Then you know that you are doing it on with purpose, not because it's a paycheck, not because you're forced to do it. Because like what you said, you had this experience that totally changed your path and way of thinking and the way you grew up because of one teacher that said something that really hurt you. You know what I mean? So I know the teachers sometimes are so, like I said, they all have their struggles to deal with. Like they're all human, right? But then when you are with your student, just try to be positive. Even the words that you say, like I said, can either hurt them or strengthen them to become better. And when you said about finding your self-worth, that should be your first step before teaching. Make sure that that student in your classroom feels at home, secure, loved, and accepted. Because learning will happen when all these things are present in your classroom, right? And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that because, like I said, I know the power of teachers. And you talk about bullying, right? That's the reason when I see kids bullying in schools now, I put an end to it because you know what I mean. Like I see the effect right there. Like I see the change in a student once they get bullied. But now listening to your story, the effect of bullying can really be in your system while growing up. And you know
Yeah.
what? So if teachers really have a bigger role, you need to be conscious of the bullying or the feeling of self-acceptance of students, because like I said, being in school is, they're in school for what, 7 hours, 6 hours a day. It's practically their second home. So it's your job to really make it a home for the students, not just a separate place, because we have you who had to go through life challenges because of one person who said the wrong thing. And thank you for sharing that. I love what you just said about just opening our eyes to what's happening in school and the power of teachers to really have an impact with students who are what, future leaders of our nation. So why, we have to mold them at an early age and start in school, start as preschoolers, show good role modeling, right?
And I also, when I think of the people that did the bullying,
Yeah.
as an adult now, I realise that they perhaps did it because they didn't have confidence in themselves.
Yes.
So they used whatever hurt they had inside of them onto other people.
Right.
So I guess now I've got a bit of empathy. I can feel sorry for them because I
Right.
know
Yeah.
why they behave that way.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah. But you know what? I've always worked in a Title One school. So what is Title One school in America? Those are the less fortunate students in the community. All right. So I do see a lot of like issues revolve surrounding students. It could be home life. It could be really no parental support or lack of basic needs. They do have their own issues. That's why they're acting like that. But it doesn't excuse anyone to show kindness. You know what I
no,
mean? So, your parents have a big influence in how you treat others, or they should be modeling. Good role modeling starts in your family. And
mm,
sometimes parents need to understand that the words that you say, your kids copy. The actions that you do, your kids copy. And, don't wait for the time when you're going to receive a phone call from the principal saying that your child did this. I mean, come on. What do you expect? If you allow these behaviors in at home, what do you expect kids are going to do? Not do it in school? Everything is like learned behavior,
yeah,
right? So, my takeaway on this one, Debbie, is just teachers need to be proactive and make sure that you're intentionally making sure that every student in your class feels supported and loved, whoever they are, no matter what the color of their skin, no matter the color of their hair, their abilities, disabilities. And I treat my students, once you enter my room, you're mine. I call you my kids. And I would take a bullet for all my students. You know what's happening in America with all the shooting, right? I would take a bullet for all my students, Debbie. You know what I mean? That's me being a teacher. I wouldn't let any harm you
yeah,
know, done to any of my students. So it's a very emotional when I talk about when there's a teacher in my podcast, yes, I do get emotional because it's like sad what's going on, you know, in our country or in our educational system. But I just be me as a teacher. For 30 years, I did that. And yes, I left the profession, but at the same time, I am here spreading my experiences as a teacher and hopefully has an impact to the
yeah,
teachers. You know what I mean? And not only that, the family, the parents. You matter to your kids,
yeah.
so bring them up the right way, right? Now, Debbie, I I just I know, when did you start finding your strength back and you started finally practicing that art of, that your skill in art. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard it right. When did you finally realize that, no, I'm good at this? Why did I ever listen to my teacher? You know what I mean? When did you
I guess
finally?
it
Yeah.
began my lowest point.
Yeah.
I can remember sat on the sofa at home when I was in my first marriage. My daughter was asleep upstairs, and I just thought, I've had enough. Things can't continue as they are. My
Yeah.
life has got to have meaning. It's got to be
Yeah.
more than where I am right now. And from there,
Yeah.
I made the decision to make a secure life for me and my daughter, get divorced, start again. Um, and during that time, it's a little bit down the line where after I'd learnt to love myself again.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that, I was at a point where I daren't even speak to the opposite sex. I've
Right.
become so pressured and bogged down. So it did take a while. It did take a while to build my confidence up, but
Okay.
I did that through reading books,
Right.
positive books. I used to like. I had friends that sent me positive affirmations, and I got into that
Yes.
and things like
Yeah.
that.
I love that.
Um, And I think if you have got good friends around you where you can help and support each other, that is valuable in itself.
Yes.
And for me, it was when I'd had my breakdown.
Right. Yes.
And part of my recovery journey was looking at how to be well again.
Right.
And we did a course which was a really simple vision board. There was
Yeah.
magazines, crayons and things on the table, had a big piece of paper, and you could cut out pictures or write words of
Right.
things that were really important to you. So you were in the
That.
middle, and then I wrote things like, I wanted to learn to paint and draw and do photography, spend time in the countryside, meet friends and have coffee,
Right.
be surrounded by nature. And it was all these things that in my mind I used to say, oh, well, I'll wait till I'm retired. When I'm retired, I'll.
Right.
But we should never, ever put things off, because
No.
why
No.
wait to do something that
Yes.
you really want to do? And through plucking up courage, I joined an adult learning to draw and paint class for your
Uh,
well-being.
yeah.
And this had got such an immense impact on my life. Not only did I learn how to draw and paint, release my feelings, build up my confidence, I
I
also
love.
met my best friend.
Aw.
And Heather is my number one supporter, and she's also an artist. And we do art for wellness together and support
Yeah.
each other, and absolutely love it. So my life was blessed in so many ways,
I love that.
and because I could see the changes that I was going through, I became more confident. I felt that I had purpose in life again. I wanted to share that with other people, because if I could just share it with one person
Right.
who started to believe in themselves,
Right.
or had a little go at doing some art or some journaling or something, and began to feel that self-worth,
Right.
that's just what I wanted to do. And that's how the idea started. And
Wow.
that's when I knew I'd found inside what was always there, that was my
Yes.
purpose in life.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I know during the first question you shared about, like first you had a great time, the few years of in school, and then you moved to another, I think, building or like another grade level we're in. That's when you started feeling indifferent. That really resonated with me. High school is a tough year for anyone, right? And the first, because I grew up like in an all Catholic exclusive expensive school where I came from in the Philippines. And when you are in an exclusive all girls Catholic school, a lot of expectations. The first 2 years our group were together for 2 years, my class, and we really got to know each other on a deeper level. We were happy. We were like the popular kids in school. We would have, it was an all girls school, so we would organize, like, I don't know if you know the word soiree. It's like afternoon party with boys from the Catholic
Yes.
school, So we were the organizers, all right? So we were like popular with like the all boys exclusive school. And I felt excited every day, like my confidence was up. And then what they did was, after 2 years of being together, being a family, they switched up the classes for third and fourth year, and I ended up with one or two per people that I wanted to be with in the new, for my junior and senior. And that completely changed my life, because for some reason I ended with a group of people who were just, it's just, we didn't click. Like, I don't know, they're not bad people, but it's just, it was different. Like, it was just starting all over again, and I didn't feel welcome. I didn't feel like part of it. Everybody struggled because we were so used to being, but I guess I struggled more. And I that's when I felt like a lost child for some point, because like I felt like I get the loner, or I wasn't organizing parties anymore, because I just didn't feel belonged in that class. I guess they're not bad people. It's just that I lost the spark. So for me, my turning point was college. Now, in when you go to a university now, you meet all people from all walks of life. I ended up in one of the top three universities in the Philippines, and it opened a whole new world for me, Debbie. I met people from all walks of life, rich, poor, medium, and I loved it. I felt that this is what real life was all about. Real people valuing education. When I was in high school, I didn't care about my grades. I just wanted to be popular. I wanted to I wanted to be in those parties and be popular. But when I finally went to college, I'm like, I became part of the student council. I was a dean's. I was in the dean's list. I knew what I wanted in life, and that is to be successful. So, just I just wanted to share with you that that was my turning point. Like, really going to college, meeting people, all walks of life, and I
Yeah.
realized that, hey, this is who I want. I don't want those social, like those people who are like on a surface level. I want to know people on a deeper level.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, college for me was a pivotal point, just like you. Now, Debbie, let's talk about our past wounds. Like, I don't think it wouldn't be unimportant if you and I will not talk about it. Like, that's how important past wounds is,
Yeah.
because until now we talk about it, right? So
Yes.
past wounds and childhood experiences often leave deep imprints on how we see ourselves. So Debbie, how did those early experiences, I know you shared already, but maybe you can add more, like what your art teacher told you, affect your mindset? And what steps did you take to break free from those limiting beliefs? I know you already explained that. Maybe talk about how you do it now in your current
Yeah.
work. Yeah, I would love to hear it.
I guess from when you do go through limiting beliefs and not feeling good enough as a child, it was only when I went to see a psychologist that she
Okay.
explained that there were so many emotions within myself that I felt I wasn't able to show. Being a people pleaser and trying
Okay.
to be that person that's supporting everybody else, I couldn't show anger. I didn't know how to show
Right.
anger, and there was other emotions. And when she explained, it was that little girl that never really learned how to deal with them,
Right.
but now you're here to protect that little girl and put your arms around and hug her and say, this
Yeah.
is what you need to do. And it was such a really amazing chance to be able to heal the
Right.
things from the past, um, in the sense of understanding what that child would have been thinking.
Yes.
and how, no, if that child feels protected and loved, that they can think in a different way.
Right.
And yeah, that was really powerful in being able to, I guess, deal with a lot of anxiety, worries, and things from the past that
Right.
still play out as when you're an adult, because you do tend to be quiet or not speak up for yourself,
Right. Right.
um, and realizing that you can do that. It's safe to do that. You're in a safe space now. And being able to surround yourself with people that
Yes.
get who you are makes an amazing difference. Like I said, my story, my second relationship, my marriage now, I met somebody who got me for me. They
Oh.
didn't want me to be anything else but the person that I was. And it's helped me to become Debbie and to
Oh.
say, Debbie is this, and Debbie likes to do this. And that has been really powerful, just having someone who
Yeah.
accepts you for who you are. And I think when you meet somebody who understands that,
Right.
it's really powerful. Yeah,
Debbie, I have
yeah.
so many reflections on what you said. Can give me 30 seconds? I left my cat out in the porch and I'm
Okay,
not going to I'm just going to turn off the camera for like 30 seconds, I promise. I have so
okay,
many reflections. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I always
that's
have to
no
remember
worries.
before podcast let the cat in because this is the second time it happened. All right. So many things that you said that I want to reflect on. Okay, so I lost my husband 2023. It's been a year, few months, and his death was my driving force for change. I'm a totally different person now. For a year, my way to heal was really going inward and finding my strength. You know what I mean? For a while, I lost myself because, like sometimes when, you know, you're in a marriage, like you get into the role, your role that sometimes you forget yourself because of the busyness of the world, right? And my husband has always been sick. From the first time I met him, he's always had a heart illness, so complications after another. So there's a lot of things that I went through in life. And so when he passed away, one day I just woke up and looked at myself in the mirror. I was still grieving his loss and said, like, I need a change. I don't like what I see in the mirror. Like, it wasn't me. Like, that girl who had such a big dream in college, looking at myself in the mirror, that wasn't me. That's not me. This is not my past. You know what I mean? I do not want to look this old. Like, I've always, like, I need change. So from that moment on, that's how I started going on a self-care, self-love journey. I finally took care of myself. I prioritized myself. And prioritizing myself meant being physically well, meaning I went to the gym. I started trying to look good for not for anyone but myself, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually well. I did yoga, I did meditation, I tried to ground myself like you nature in my own little way. I tried to like appreciate nature, and it's been a year that my journey of self-care, self-love has been a year, and I love it. I feel that I'm at the point, Debbie, that I found my real authentic self. Yes, because why did I say that? Because I can totally embrace my life. the ugly parts, my struggles, my weaknesses, and say, I did that. That's my past. I'm not going to go back and move on. And like I said, now that I'm a speaker, it's limitless. It's limitless what I can do. And I just love talking and speaking and using my voice. My podcast in the beginning was just a way for me to get speaking, be part of, like, you need something to in order to end up in a speaking engagement, like a portfolio thing. But now, no, it really, I found the value of being of this podcast because I meet people like you who has stories to share with others. And I think that's my life purpose now, really, is touching people's lives through my story, through my journey, and through your story and through your journey. And I just want to reflect on you finding your love again for the second time. I want that. Doesn't mean I lost my husband, doesn't mean that it's over for me. I would like to find another person who will accept me for who I am. I don't think I can ever stop now with my mission and life purpose, which is speaking. Uh, Believe me, there are setbacks. There's setbacks when you are in the social media. I literally, can I share with you that I have stalkers? I would have people calling me on my phone saying like really disgusting, you know what I
Oh,
mean, the sexual things, or they found I would have fans. I didn't even know I had fans. Like, yes, I am a little, yes, I am honored that somebody is a fan, but can be also obsessive also. So there are setbacks, right? So I'm just saying that, like, I want to meet someone, my soulmate, my true love, who will accept me for who I am because I will
yeah.
never stop speaking. This is my strength. Making an impact is my strength, and I will not stop with podcasting. I'm going to go out in the world to
What you're
show.
doing is so valuable because you're touching the uniqueness of people and sharing it out in the world. And don't ever stop doing that because it's amazing.
And you know what? I'm meeting thank you, Debbie, for saying that. And I'm meeting incredible people along the way. Like, how I wouldn't have met you from UK. I love UK if it weren't for my podcast. And what I mean? Like, our stories are so vital for others. Like, maybe even two, three, four people can resonate with our story. You know how powerful that is because it can have a ripple effect on
Yeah.
others, right? So I really just want to say thank you, and I'm glad you found your best friend, your love of your life. And I've healed, and I'm waiting for mine. And you know what? It's gonna be the best feeling because, um, sometimes you want somebody next to you, beside you, to support you. Sometimes it's lonely being alone, right? Especially during holidays. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm just saying, hopefully, I find that person who will accept me and not stop me from doing what I am, even if it's, like I said, it's hard. It's scary when
I
people
do
stalk
believe
you.
that life brings opportunities and things into your life, and it will
Correct.
happen at the right time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you've learned to love yourself and be the person you were meant to be, you will attract different
Yes.
energies towards you.
And
And that
I'm in
person
no
is out
rush.
there waiting for you, and
Right. Aww.
when you least expect it, it'll happen.
I know,
I
and
do
I'm in no
believe that.
rush. I just feel
No
like
rush, no.
someone out there is meant to be, I'm
Yeah,
meant to be with someone who will support my endeavor because I
yeah.
won't stop. Like, I found my calling and life purpose, and I don't think I'll ever stop right now because the world needs healing. The
Yeah.
world needs healing nowadays, Debbie. Whew, that was okay. No, no, no cry. All right, Debbie. Let's talk about resilience and intentionality because those are two very important things that I talk about in my podcast. So, resilience, and intentionality seem to be key themes in your journey. Okay,
Yeah.
especially after your mental breakdown and your recovery process. Now, how did these qualities help you find your way back to yourself? Maybe add more. And how did it help you step into the creative path you were meant for?
I think creativity help me to process my emotions
Okay.
and to understand them and to release them from my body. I mean, creativity to me, it's not just about painting and drawing. There's
Yes.
so many other things out there. You know, it could be music, it could be pottery, it could be crafting, it could be glasswork, it could be baking. There's so
Yes.
much out there. And it's just taking time to do something that you really enjoy doing and having that space for yourself.
I do have an episode because, like I said, the title of my podcast is Intentional Excellence. I did, I did feature an episode solely on intentional creativity because I do believe that in whatever field of work you are at, whoever your whatever your role is, you have internal creativity in you because
Yes.
creativity is simply expression, right? It's
Yes,
just
it
creative
is.
expression.
Yeah.
My creativity is speaking, and my creativity is really doing this. Oh, I do everything. I multitask. um I do the marketing, I do my script, I do my podcasting, the lights, the this, the that. That's my creativity, and it's soothing and calming for me. You know what I mean? Like I do it. I could hire a virtual assistant to do all these things for me, but I want my touch. I want the Candice personal touch in everything that I do. So there are things wherein I can't let a virtual assistant manage for me because I want my personal branding on the
Yeah.
things that I do, right? Because it's your creative expression, right?
And
Um,
it's about being the real you. It's about
yes,
being the genuine you, and people
right.
get that. People need to see that, don't they?
And like what you said, in
Um,
whatever you do, you need to show your authenticity, who
yeah,
you are in whatever you do, because that's gonna make it more personal for others. You can't fake life. You can't fake it because people will see through you. If you're
yeah,
producing artwork that's not really you, people are people are not gonna resonate with your work. You know what I mean? As an art teacher, I know because you're a teacher that you bring out the creativity of a person. How? Be you. Be genuinely you. Right? Present yourself through art, like what you said, music, arts and crafts, singing, cooking, but show your uniqueness because that is how um, you can express yourself. You can't be somebody else. It has to be
no,
you.
that's right.
Right. Right. So, what are this is an additional to like what we've been talking. Like, what exactly do you do? Like as an art um yeah, moderator, teacher, and who are your clients? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I've gone down what I would class as therapeutic art,
Okay.
in the sense that we use lots of multimedia, whether it would be bottle tops, whether it's fur fabric, whether it's ribbons, whether it's crayons, whether it's glue, materials. And it's about exploring. And I teach
Wow.
on the power of three, which is through colour, shape, and imagination.
Wow.
And we have various different themes that we use. Like
Right.
spring, summer. We use the seasons, and it's allowing people to express themselves on a blank piece of paper. But there's also the element, from a therapeutic point of view, is that if you use the materials like fur fabric, you've got the touch of the fabric.
Right.
For buttons, for example, I've had situations where, working in older people's services, where people might pick up a button and it sparks a memory.
Right.
Like if it's people that may have had dementia or something like that. So, I mean, I work with a wide spectrum of people. We've worked with children's services, we work with adults, and we work with older people. But we adapt our workshops to fit the
The
audience that we're
individual.
working with.
Yes. Yes.
But
I
it's to
love
make it
that.
fun. To make it
That is
fun.
so. That is so healing. You know what? Because it's like, okay, so I remember I was in a STEM school. They call it STEM or STEAM school. All right, I don't know if that's popular in UK, wherein we teach kids how to build, how to use technology, how to use collaboration and stuff like that. One time we ask donations for recyclable, all the things recyclable, everything recyclable. All right, and we just put it, everyone donated, right? And we just put all these recyclable things in the middle of the classroom. All right, and then we read the story The Three Little Pigs. All right, something like that, and allowed the kids to use, of course, part of STEAM is like, how do they solve the problem? In the long run, it's about the solution, right? How are you going to solve the problem of the wolf not like breaking your house, something like that? Oh my God, the work that these kids made, because you didn't limit them. Some of them mainly just use what you said, maybe the bottle caps. Some of them use toilet paper rolls. Some of them use like boxes of like food boxes. Some of them use like steel. The creativity was just limitless. And
Yeah.
it was amazing how one, like little kids building, talking to each other about, even like like role playing the story when they built the art. Like, what's that? I not huff puff and I'll blow your house. It's just yeah. It's just like, so bring it to an adult level. Bring out the child, the inner child
Yes.
in them. Bring out
Yeah.
their creativity. Like, bring your art to a senior assisted living. Do you know how fun that is? If you provide the senior citizens with multiple materials, paint, crayons, Play-Doh, or like just what? Oh my goodness, spray paint. It's just a peaceful way to find your calmness. Stop the busyness of like
Yeah.
the world and your head and your mind, and just I like that. I like that. Because you can bring art anywhere. You can bring
Yeah.
art. I can even find your art, what you offer in professional developments, in workshop, go to corporation. Do you know how fun it is rather than sitting and listening to lectures and discussion? If you are on a 7-day, 7-hour professional development, you want that. Make them create things and then reflect on it. That is so
But
cool.
that also goes back to teachers as well, because I know teachers do a valuable job for the children, but they deserve the reward of doing something for themselves as well, because
Right.
they need time out, time to relax, time to just have a bit of fun as
Yes.
well. So,
Yes. You're not going to make them sit for another 7 hours of learning how to assess students. Like, come
no.
on, give them a break. They already deal with that on a day basis. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you, I did leave the field of education for 30 years, but the teacher in me can't stop, right? So I started a global education connection where I still support administrators, teachers, and students worldwide through my digital courses, professional development, in person and virtual. I do have a partner who is a principal currently in America, and we provide support. And you know what? If I am in UK, because like I said, it's global. I would invite you. I would invite you to share, to make those teachers not do lectures but work on art. That's gonna be something different and something
Yeah.
fresh, and just a good way to reflect on life. They can build something out of like whatever. Well, that's something for you. Bring your art everywhere. Bring your art everywhere.
We are doing a project that we're really excited about this summer, and it's called
Okay.
Look Around the Garden. And we're
Okay.
working with a local community garden
Ah,
and inviting people so that you've got the inspiration of
yeah.
nature to do lots of different things that are creative. So that's going to be really exciting.
Ooh, can't wait. And once you launch it, come back to me. I mean, I know I see you on my social media now. We're connecting. So, feel once you have something new, let's collaborate. I can share, I love collaboration. Like, I hope this is not the last time that we speak to each other. Like, let's collaborate, the power of
Definitely. I've
collaboration.
really enjoyed speaking with you,
I know.
meeting
And
you.
like I said, when I'm in UK, because like I said, I just started this. I'm still in the planning and of everything. I'm still completing my digital courses. But like what I said, when that, what, 40 minutes of them just building art with purpose. Art with purpose. Amazing. They're gonna be like, oh, this is like never will. I'm sure they wouldn't want to go back to the usual professional development of just simply sitting down and looking at a PowerPoint. Nah, you know. All right. So Debbie, healing is not always a linear process. We know that.
No.
I know you did explain how you navigated moments when old wounds resurface or when triggers from your past creep in. It will happen. You'll start remembering it. So, what strategies help you stay grounded in the present and continue moving forward? Or how do you handle your triggers? You know?
I think it's about, very briefly, building yourself a toolkit. It's
Okay.
knowing that the things that you can go to when you feel that you may be heading into a space where you need time for yourself, or you
Right.
may not be feeling very happy, or whatever, because we are human and we're
Right.
still
Right.
going to go through emotions and situations no matter what age we are, no matter
Right.
what we're doing in life. But it's recognizing that things that you want to do or that make you happy, go for
Right.
a walk, read a book,
I like
listen
that.
to some music. I was listening to Mel Robbins' podcast actually today, and she was talking about the power of listening to music, which was absolutely blew my mind.
Wow.
She's absolutely amazing. So I would definitely say, even if it's listening to a podcast
Yes.
or finding something that takes you away from what you normally do.
I love that.
Yeah.
My strategy when triggers happen, believe me, I didn't even share the worst of my triggers. Like that was just one part because I resonated with what you were saying. But I went through a lot of life challenges as well. um so this is my take. Healing for me is about accepting that everything happens for a reason. Really believe that every challenge, every painful experience, it's all preparing us for something bigger. I've experienced deep loss. My dad died, two brothers, my husband, constant change in my life and moments of loneliness. Constant change. I lived in Philippines, Australia, and America. I lived
Wow.
in America. I lived in New York, Connecticut, and Florida. Like, change is just something that happens in my life. But that is like good change for me because I love change. So the way that I'm talking about constant change, basically our life changes and moments of loneliness, but all of it made me resilient. That's how I look
Yeah.
at it. I've lost loved ones, moved across countries and states, and had to rebuild my life over and over. Like, I don't even have stable friends because I kept moving. But you know what? Through it all, Debbie, I found my best self. And right now, at this very
Yeah.
moment, I'm living as the strongest, most authentic version of me. And that to me is true healing.
Yeah.
You know,
That is
not
lovely. That is
nothing can
lovely.
beat that when you're finally able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I like who I'm seeing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And my goal now is hopefully encourage others to do the same.
Yeah.
It's not hard when you genuinely want to love yourself. Baby
It
steps
just
it
takes
can
little
happen.
steps and
Yes,
changing
yes.
habits, doesn't it? It's not something that's going to happen overnight,
Right,
but you've
right,
got to
right,
make a decision to do something different.
right.
Do something out of your comfort zone.
Love
Do
that.
something that you've not done before. Don't give yourself 100 reasons why not. Just do it.
Right. And do now. Start now. Don't
Yes.
procrastinate. Procrastinate. Like after listening to Debbie and I, find something different to do. You know what I mean? Out of your comfort zone. I believe in that because when something happens in your life, a defining moment, and you have not even tried even stepping a little bit out of your stepping zone,
Yeah.
you are, oh my goodness, like you are going to have a hard time navigating the world when that
Mm.
defining moment happens to you. And it can happen to anyone, rich, poor,
Yeah.
man, woman. When there's a loss, somebody passes away, or relationship issues, or money problem, or job loss, there is going to be a change. So little by little, now that you're okay, try stepping out of your comfort zone and just be accepting that anything can happen in a heartbeat. I need to be ready. It's not being selfish. It's really, I need to be ready. I need to prepare. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. So, Debbie, this is a question that I ask everyone before we wrap up, and I don't want it to end. You're an amazing,
No.
amazing person. Debbie, is there anything that you want you want to leave the audience with, something that they can remember you by, like any life lesson, a quote, a concept that you want the viewers to remember you with?
I guess it would be to just have a go. Like when I first
Yeah.
started, it was with adult colouring books,
Right.
and it was just doing simple things like that. I also did something called, it's like emptying your brain. It's give
Okay.
yourself 5 minutes.
Right.
Whatever's in your head, write it on paper. Doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to worry about spelling. Not just write it all out. And then at the end of it, it might be something that you want to tear up and never have a look at again. Or it might be something that's brought something out of your head that you didn't realise that you wanted to do. But just practice getting whatever's in your head out onto paper. It's just getting it out from here onto the paper is really powerful.
Because you're visually
Yeah.
seeing it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need a visual reminder to know which path you're going,
Yes.
right? Like sometimes there's so many things in our head, but when you're actually, I love that process. Like when you're actually writing it down, you kind of make it happen because it's in
Yes.
front of you and it leads you to where you're going. You might encounter setbacks, you might encounter some challenges along the way, but if you have that thing in front of you, you know exactly where you're headed.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm gonna start practicing that. Oh, can you? Okay, don't laugh at me. Okay. So whenever it's a full moon, okay. Well, others might want to do this. I write down things that I want to let go in my life,
Yes. Yes.
limiting beliefs, the negative part of me. I write it in a piece of paper. I go out in front of the moon. I hope it stops crazy, and I burn it.
It's not crazy. I get that
And
completely.
I watched
Yeah.
it fly all over my garden. At the same time, I write a new manifestation list.
Yes.
And I keep it. I read it every day. It's not on a paper, it's on my notepad on my phone. I read it every day because I affirm it. Like I believe in affirmation. Like
Yeah.
I affirm my life. So I let go of the past that no longer serves me
Yeah.
whenever it's a big full moon. And I welcome new changes in my life. I do manifestations and I believe in that.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I believe in,
Absolutely. I
yeah.
agree with you 100%.
Now, Debbie, how can you said so many wonderful things, and I know a lot of people want to connect with you. How can they find you, or is there anything that you want to introduce to them or promote? Like, how will my viewers find you?
Right. Well, I do have a website,
Mm-hmm.
which is artforwellnesscic.co.uk.
Okay.
I'm also on Instagram and Facebook. Now, the book that you mentioned at the beginning,
Okay.
Beyond the Ordinary, it was actually launched this last year, and it became a number one bestseller straight away.
Is it
And
on Amazon? Is it on
it's
Amazon?
It's on Amazon,
Okay.
yes. And I've also have a range of books, easy journals and things on Amazon as well. So
Okay.
just connect, just come and have a look.
Right. Oh, I
Just come and
will.
have a look.
And
Yeah.
so whenever I publish this, YouTube, Spotify, and soon Apple. Um, I also share it on multiple social media pages: LinkedIn,
Okay.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, multiple pages. So, can I ask for all your links? If you can give
Yes.
me all your links on the DM, so that once I publish it and introduce you, all the links are there, so they can connect with you immediately. All right.
Thank you. Yes,
Of
that's
course. No,
lovely.
thank you. All right. So, to my listeners, if you want to connect with me, visit my website, CandiceRuggiero.com. All my social media presence are on Linktree/Candice Ruggiero. And Debbie is here. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was really such an honor having you. Thank you for being flexible with all our tech problems. And again, thank you for being here. It's an honor and pleasure. It was a wonderful meeting. I hope this is not the last time we're going to collaborate. Okay.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Yes, thank you so much. And again, remember, the lost child within you doesn't have to stay lost. Through intentionality and authenticity, you can reclaim your story, step into your power, and create the life you were meant to live. Don't forget, you have your path. Write it down. Never forget your past. All right. So until the next time, stay intentional, stay excellent. Have a good evening, Debbie, and have a good evening to my viewers. Bye, everyone.